Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park, sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
Portsmouth are among several English clubs keeping a close eye on exciting Gambian striker Abdoulaye Mana, who's been turning heads at Swedish club Mjällby AIF. The 20-year-old talent has attracted interest from Premier League sides Bournemouth, Brighton, Burnley and Wolves, while Olympiacos and FC Cincinnati are also in the mix. Despite his young age, Mana has already broken into the Gambian national team, earning 2 caps in Africa Nations Championship qualifiers against Guinea-Bissau back in 2022. A versatile attacker who's most comfortable in the number 10 role, Mana has been lighting up the Swedish top flight since the season kicked off in March. He's found the back of the net 7 times in just 12 appearances across all competitions, catching the attention of scouts from across England. According to the Mirror, Pompey boss John Messinho has added Mana to his wishlist, though the youngster won't come cheap. With 2 years left on his contract at the Standvallen, Mjällby are reportedly looking for around £4.25 million for their prized asset.
Sky Sports pundit David Prutton has made a strong case for Portsmouth to retain Josh Murphy's services following the winger's stellar championship campaign. The former Premier League midfielder acknowledges that while bigger clubs might come calling, Pompey should do everything they can to keep their Player of the Year, unless an irresistible offer lands on the table. Portsmouth's successful fight for championship survival was capped off brilliantly with victories over Norwich City and Watford, securing their status with a game to spare. Murphy has been instrumental in this achievement, proving to be an inspired signing after joining on a free transfer last summer when he surprisingly turned down a new contract at Oxford United. The decision to leave Oxford raised eyebrows at the time, particularly after his heroic double in the playoff final against Bolton had fired them to promotion. However, Murphy's gamble has paid off spectacularly at Fratton Park. Despite a slow start, he finished the season with an impressive 7 goals and 14 assists in 42 league appearances, helping Portsmouth to a comfortable 16th place finish. Speaking to Football League World, Prutton was full of praise for both Murphy and the club. What John has done with Pompey after their time away from this level has been nothing short of miraculous, and Josh has been a massive part of that. While he could be targeted this summer, he looks right at home there. Of course, if the right offer comes in, that might change things. But he's been crucial to their style of play. Fratton Park is a special place to play football, with that incredible atmosphere. Murphy's track record in the Championship with Norwich, MK Dons, and Cardiff already showed his capabilities, but he's reached new heights under Messinho's management. His 21 goal contributions this season represent his best ever return, and like his twin brother Jacob at Newcastle, he's hitting peak form despite approaching 30.
Doesn't seem likely that Pompey have got to hold on to Josh Murphy. I don't think anybody's coming hunting for Josh Murphy because they can see that he's great, well, very good, extremely effective, scores goals and makes goals and beats his man, gets the cross in and covers back. So he's got a lot going for himself. But he's not going anywhere because he's 30. His family has settled down here. They like it down here. They would like to be down here for another 2 to 3 years, maybe even a little bit longer. It just depends on how long he can keep those electric legs doing what they're doing. But he's not going anywhere. We don't think he's going anywhere. We're not concerned that he might be going somewhere. And we don't need to be told that we need to hold on to him. So what you're listening to there is a piece of journalism which is perfectly necessary at this time of the year when the football season has ended and there are no major announcements coming out of the club. There's one major announcement that's expected, which is the names of those players who are being released even though they are still in contract with Pompey. That's what we're all sitting around waiting for. It's now Sunday afternoon. I'm alone running Pompey's Sound because everybody else is understandably on the beach or busy. But I'm happy to be here and happy to continue to investigate and promote the stories that are happening. So there's this young lad called Mana who plays in Sweden. He's a Guinea international. And it's being rumoured around that Pompey, along with a couple of other Premier League clubs, are monitoring him. So I've had a look at him on YouTube and yes, he's quick. He's got very good ball control. He can hold his court in Sweden, and I'm not knocking Swedish football when I say that, because the Swedes are perfectly capable of giving anybody a good game at any level. So he's a good player. He's 20, which is extremely attractive, part of the deal that he might be offering somebody. He's valued in places at £4.25 million. And of course, that is way and beyond anything that John Messino and Rich Hughes have been allowed to spend so far with Pompey. So I think that fact alone rules him out. But for me, and this is purely personal, and you may disagree, but if you want to go and have a look at him on YouTube, he's somebody who is very good on the ball, but he wants the ball and he wants to keep the ball. And good players want to keep the ball, but football is a passing game. I don't know if you know, but it was turned into a passing game by the Scots. When the English played their football, it was just a matter of hoofing it forward and everybody trying to crowd around it and hoof it further forward. The Scots came up with this idea of passing it from one to the other and back again in order to work their way up the pitch. And it is a passing game. And players need to pass, whoever they are, whatever position they're playing in. They need to know how to weight a pass, the value of the pass, the where to put the ball for your colleague to pick it up, so that your colleague is not put under pressure. The ball needs to be given to you, preferably on the deck, nice and flat and straight. It doesn't want to have a curve on it. It certainly doesn't want to be bobbling. You don't want the ball to come to you having taken 2 bounces and quick at knee height, because then you've got to kill it. And that's when somebody can come in and either take it off you or worse. So passing is a huge part of the game and should be a central part of every single footballer's game. And all I'm saying is, I watched this guy passing the ball and his attitude seemed to me, and okay, he's only 20 and there's room to develop this aspect of his game. He seemed to be saying, oh God, I've got to give it to you. Go on then, have it. And he would sometimes, and there's only about 3 or 4 minutes of him on YouTube, so it's totally unfair of me to judge him on what I've seen. But the passes that I saw him give were the passes of somebody who doesn't really want to give the ball up, but either didn't have much choice or knew that it was necessary from the point of view of being in a team. But then he would give it up, give the ball up, give the ball off to a colleague in a kind of almost, I just have it. And on a couple of occasions on the YouTube clips that I saw, he left his colleagues in a little bit of trouble because the pass simply wasn't sympathetic to their circumstances. One of them invited a 50-50, which wasn't necessary because he could have passed it much better. And another one was just a hopeful spray into space that nobody, not even Usain Bolt, could have tracked down on a motorbike. So that's the only aspect of his game that concerns me. He's billed as a striker, but it is said on Wikipedia that he prefers to play as a number 10. Well, one of the key skills for number 10 is passing the ball, and he's got a bit to learn. That's not to say we can't teach him, but that's my summation of the only 2 news stories that are frothing up at the moment on late on Sunday. Going into Monday, we're hoping that on Monday we'll get the list of players who are being released announced, and that will give us something concrete to chew on. Until then, enjoy the rest of the sunshine on this Sunday afternoon. My colleagues certainly are, and I'm going to snatch whatever I can of it in the garden. But if anything breaks, it'll be here on Pompey Sound, of course.